Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on when you are watching this. This class is going to be dedicated to opening up through the hips, working on some balance, and just really settling down our mind and our body for a peaceful day or evening, depending on when you are using this practice. Blocks are definitely advised if your balance is a little bit off kilter, or maybe you want to stay close to a wall, so you can have that as a balance point as well. And please make sure, as always, that you go through our PAR-Q form, which is in the comments, and that you've checked with a physician to ensure you are healthy and ready for your exercise program. Our class today is going to be all standing until we get to the end, and then we'll drop it down into child's pose. So I'll ask that you start standing. And we're gonna have the big toes together, a little space between the heels. And then I want you just to rock forward and back on your feet. So your hands can be wherever is comfortable, lifting the toes and then lifting the heels. Just feeling out that floor and how your feet connect to it. Belly button is in, always tight to the spine. And then even out those feet, and then we roll outside of the feet to the inside. Just waking up the ankles there. Getting some movement. Beautiful. Nice and flat through the feet. We're going to pick up all the toes this time and try as best as you can to put down the pinky toe first, and then the fourth toe, the third toe, second, and then finally that big toe. So your toes are as spread out as possible. Shoulders drawn back, palms open at the hips. I want you to take a deep breath in, filling first through the belly, through the ribs, all the way up to the top of the lungs. And then exhale from the top of the lungs, through the ribs, all the way down deep into the belly. Inhale, filling up, feeling the spine lengthen. Exhaling completely, settling down deep into those heels. Inhale, filling up. And exhale. With this inhale, sweep the arms up top. Palms together overhead. Exhale, reaching over to one side, lengthening through that side body. Big inhale, reaching up top. And exhale. Inhale, that's perfect. And exhale. Big inhale, lengthen. And exhale. Inhale. Once more over to the left. Exhale. Inhale up top. And exhale. Beautiful. Big inhale here. We're going to fold forward, Uttanasana here. So we want our heels under the hips, head hangs. You may find that our back rounds and our hands can't quite touch the floor, and that's okay. Feel free to bend the knees if you like, or bend one leg and then the other, finding the length through those hamstrings. Our head and neck should hang low. Heavy through the shoulders. Still encouraging those deep belly breaths. Even out those feet, straightening out through the legs. Inhale up to a half lift, hands on the thighs or maybe the shin. Perhaps down to the floor if it's in your practice. Draw the shoulders away. from the ears. On an exhale, we're going to bend the knees, step back into a plank, and hold that plank here. So this can be off the knees if it needs to be modified. If it's in your wheelhouse, we can come straight up. Exhale, we come back to downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale to down dog. Inhale to plank. Modification is off the knees. And then as you exhale, send the hips back. Inhale to plank. Exhale, sending the hips back. One more big inhale. Exhale, holding our downward dog here. Lifting those hips up high. Head hangs in between the arms, or if you choose to modify, just lengthen through that side body. And when you're ready, slowly tiptoe your feet forward, taking as many steps as possible to get back into that Uttanasana or forward fold. Inhale to a half lift. And on this exhale, we're going to send that right leg back and drop down into a low lunge. Now you can alternate this or modify by keeping the back knee down, perhaps the hands on the thigh, or you can lift that back leg and lengthen through the hips. This is where perhaps a block might be handy. Think about lengthening through that right leg, through that right hip. Keep a tall back. Slow, deep breath. On an inhale, stepping the feet together. Exhale, relax into Uttanasana, head hangs low. Inhale to our half lift. And exhale, left leg sends back. Remembering that we can drop that back knee if need be. Hands perhaps on that front leg. We're lengthening through that hip flexor. Or if it's in your practice, lengthen through that leg and drop the hip down as low as you feel comfortable. Relax through the shoulders. Breathing into that left hip. On an exhale, we'll step the feet together. A little shake out maybe by bending alternating knees. Inhale to our half lift. Exhale, step the right leg back. Coming into warrior one. So that back foot is on a 45 degree. Just so you can see there, front knee is bent, hips face forward, shoulders face forward. Sweep the arms up on either side of the ears and holding it here. If you need to, hands can come down on the hips if that's preferred pose. We want to think about turning the shoulders and the hips forward. Shoulders away from the ears, lengthening through the body, pressing that right hip forward. On an exhale, we'll lengthen fingertip to fingertip, pressing the left knee outward, rolling that right hip open, soften through the shoulders. On an inhale, sweep both arms up. Lift that back heel and relax into a crescent lunge. So this can be as deep as you feel comfortable. Perhaps you like to stay a little bit higher. Perhaps you can get a little bit deeper. So find a position that works best for you. Lengthen through that back leg. Press the hips forward, open up through the chest. Big breath in. Exhale, hands together on either side of that front foot. And step the feet together. Notice how one leg feels just a little bit longer than the other. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, step that left foot back onto a 45. Inhale, sweep the hands up for a warrior one. Drop the shoulders down and away from the ears, or perhaps hands come onto the hips if that's your preference. Shoulders, hips face forward. Slow, deep belly breaths. Pressing that left hip forward. On an exhale to warrior two. Lengthening fingertip to fingertip, pressing that right knee outward, opening up to that left hip. Softening the shoulders away from the ears. Holding those arms strong. Weight should be pressed into the outside of that left foot. Big inhale, sweep the hands up, lift that back foot, crescent lunge. Remember, we can stay a little bit higher if that's our preference, or if it's in the wheelhouse, we can drop down lower. Shoulders, hips face forward, toes face forward on both feet. Shoulders away from the ears. On an exhale, hands come together, feet come together, forward fold, hips over the heels, and we'll just take a soft sway with the shoulders side to side here. Loosening through that low back. Maybe noticing if you can come down just a little bit lower in that forward fold than when we started. Inhale, we're going to slowly roll up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Exhaling at the top, rolling up through the shoulders. Give a little shake out, maybe a little twist through the hips. So this is where perhaps you may want to stay a little bit closer to the wall. And we're going to bring our heel over the ankle and send the knee outward. So opening up the hips as much as possible. And this may be where you want your practice, is to keep this right foot on the floor. If you can tuck it up against the calf, so below the knee, or bring it up into that thigh. So above or below the knee, hands out, dead center, up high, wherever you feel comfortable. Beautiful, big deep breaths. On an exhale, gently bringing the leg back down. Shaking out and then adjusting to the other side. So bringing the left heel over the right ankle, maybe the toe stays down. Pressing that knee open, belly button tight, nice and tall. Maybe the foot comes up onto the calf. Perhaps it comes into the thigh. Remember not to press on the knee. Hands wide. Maybe at heart center. Maybe nice and high. Beautiful. Soften through the shoulders. Open up through the hips. Concentrate on that deep belly breath. On an exhale, gently bringing it down. Softly shaking out. Again, nice and tall. Belly button in, long through the spine. We're gonna step our right foot back and start just with the toes down to use as balance. Hands come into Anjali Mudra, heart center. Press them together. And then start hinging forward at the waist. Finding a position that works best for you. Keeping the hips as flat as possible. Deep breaths. Try to keep a straight line from the crown of the head down to the heel on the right side. Exhale. Coming back up. And a little shake out. Same idea with the left leg. Step it back. Using the toes there as a balance. Hands in at heart center. Keep it tight and tall. And when you're ready on an exhale, start to hinge forward. Hips staying as parallel as you can. Nice flat back. I like to flex the toes in to encourage balance. Slow, deep breaths. On an exhale. Coming back up. A little shake out. And now we'll come down to the floor. Into our child's pose. Ending our class here. So I like to take our child's pose with our knees wide. Traditionally, knees are together. However, big toes together here. You can choose to use a bolster or a pillow to place between the hamstrings and the calves if you like. We're going to reach the hands out in front, resting the forehead down between the arms. If it's better for your practice to fold the arms under the forehead, feel free. Otherwise, we can lengthen through those arms, reach those fingertips. And we'll take 10 strong, deep breaths here. Inhaling fully. And exhale completely. Inhale. And out. Inhale. Exhale completely, squeezing all that breath out. Inhale, filling all the way up. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, filling all the way up. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Take those last 3 inhales at your own pace, breathing as fully, as completely as you can. When you're ready, gently rise up. Onto the hands and knees. A little shake out from the tail. Shaking the head side to side. Then coming into a comfortable seat. So whatever works best for you, on the knees or sitting cross-legged. Bringing those hands into heart center. Sitting tall, drawing the shoulders back. I'd like to thank you for sharing your time and your practice with me tonight. I welcome any questions or comments below. And I wish you a wonderful rest of your day and evening. Thank you. Namaste. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you again soon.